to the NAV podcast, the NAVSeer podcast. I guess I should say the full name sometimes. Also known as a NAVcast.
Yeah.
Today we have the produce farmer.
One, the only that cannot be imitated, but can be tried to be imitated.
The recently compromised, the recently hacked, the recently, covenant taken control of.
Well, I guess I just chalk it up to I feel honored that I was worthy enough to be in their sites or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that's
so.
I guess I don't know.
So to ensure that this is the real produce farmer, I figure we'll do a security test, just to make sure, and ask questions that
oh boy,
only farmer would know.
Or will I? One of the best verifications was what Johnny was saying. It's like, I know that's not farmer. He doesn't have an iPhone.
I know that's not farmer. He's not farming.
He's not cryptoing.
Oh, and of course, we also have with us, as usual, the only missed 2 episodes, Craig. Great to see you, Craig. Yeah. We need shirts with Craig on them, I think. I kind of sort of like, I don't know. I wonder if I could like put him on a shirt and then make a deal with like the creator of like Craig's company. Like for like 50% profits or something, and see if he'd be down for that. Because I feel like that'd be really cool. We'll see. But first off, farmer, what's your given birth first name? Okay, we don't have to dox you entirely, but
what's my yeah, see, this might not be good because the hackers might be listening and they're gonna take this information.
Or you might be the hacker, though. That's my primary concern. Yeah.
Oh, I could. Yeah, you don't know because you're not seeing any video. I mean, I could literally be the one that's sending out the messages just for.
I mean, like, AI is really good nowadays. I mean, like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm good at imitating, I guess, when it comes down to it. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name is.
Okay. No, well, that's suspect. That doesn't seem like a thing never.
No, see, okay. My name is Ethan. There you go. Okay. My first name verification.
Let's okay. That's a good baseline question, I feel like,
Yeah.
Establish
a lot of people
baseline.
Don't even know that, they don't.
True.
In the Discord verse, if you will, it's just farmer. So
when did you join a NAV? Is your next question.
Oh, well, I'm going to get this wrong for sure. It's like, I want to say like 2005 or something like that. I don't know.
Well, NAV didn't exist in 2005, so it definitely wasn't that.
All right. Then it was.
That's not a good sign. Okay.
Was it 07?
It was either 07 or 08. It was somewhere around there.
It had to be somewhere around Halo 2, Halo 3-ish.
Right, yeah.
So.
Okay, I'll accept that. I'll say that that's a reasonable... It's kind of concerning that your first answer was completely wrong. But, I mean, like, and as one of the leaders of a NAV,
it just seems like we've been around for a long...
Oof, that's a red flag if ever I saw one. Although I think also one of the things about red flags is that it's important to establish that like not all red flags necessarily mean that something is completely, like wrong, they're indicators, right? And you should regard them as such sometimes.
Guidelines,
I mean, like some can be absolutely like, okay, like, no, that's bad. But some can also be just like, this might be bad. Be on the lookout for other things, I mean, like, or continue to watch to see if there's a pattern, I mean, like, yeah. So one question wrong. Half right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
mostly right.
Like mostly right. That's exactly what a hacker would say.
Yeah, you got to give it to me. I'm not the hacker.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite Halo game?
That's a trick question because I don't have a favorite Halo game.
Okay. Ding ding, I guess. Sure. That also seems like a trick cop out answer, but okay.
Well, it's true. I've told many people that. So okay, if I was gonna say my favorite of all time for
Expound
experience,
on like
yeah.
why you don't
So
have a
I guess
favorite Halo game, okay?
I would
We'll
say
go through it.
probably Halo 3, just because, you know, all the different things we had, like with like VidMasters and things like that. The story's good, the multiplayer is good. We had all the stuff in campaign, and then having to do all, like, again, those VidMasters, that, and having to do it in ODST, just like those achievements. It was a good time. It was a good time. We had like dial-up internet, it felt like. So, just like uh yeah. So I have to say, just for the experience, and like also the split screen co-op that me and Hayden and my other brother Cayman used to do, it'd probably have to be that one, because we had probably the most time playing together as well. So just good experiences all around.
Fair. So you would say 3, but also not 3. Why would you say like all of them? Or like, that you don't have a
Well,
favorite?
see, I'm just a very big Halo fan, and so there's something in every Halo that I like. There's a lot of things probably I don't like, but I feel like every Halo has kind of like pushed the needle a little bit in some form that I like. There's something special about each one, and I put special time in one. Then there's some of them like, like I did not like multiplayer in Halo 4. I didn't like so much the story in Halo 5. Infinite, I really liked. It was pretty solid for the most part. Not everybody
Okay.
was, down with the open world stuff, but yeah.
I thought the open world stuff was cool, but I mean, I understand like that, like,
Yeah, some people
uh,
couldn't get behind it, but
and then
I really.
also like, I mean, like, it's really disappointing detethering, I think, and a lack of co-op
Yeah,
at the
I
beginning.
feel like
I mean,
other
like
games have
that,
done it
yeah.
better, since, and it's like, really? Why? We talked about this the other day. Why did they need such a small tether? What game were we playing that there wasn't a tether? That was just like crazy.
Oh man,
What game was that? It was
you recommended that, I think.
Planet, the planet, that Planet game. Planet of the. Oh man, what was it? Planet. Anyways, it was it's a fairly recent game
I can hang on.
that we.
I can look it up right now.
I just know there's Planet in it.
I mean, that seems like the kind of thing that like a hacker would say. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's
like
true.
they're just
Planet,
guessing. Like, oh,
Planet,
space games. Yeah. What's in space? Planets. So the game with
Planet
a planet in it.
game
Okay.
co-op. It's pretty.
Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Yes, Revenge of the
Yeah.
Savage Planet. I just got to it.
Okay.
See, I was just about to say that, but
Uh-huh.
now you're gonna
Sure.
say I'm a hacker
We're yeah,
because
yeah,
I said
we're
it
going.
after you did.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say that answer was half right. I mean, when it comes down to it. Okay, I'm gonna list off the Halo games, and you tell me just quickly what's your favorite thing about them. Okay. It
Wow.
has to be quick though. It has to just be like a few words or whatever. Don't go
All
into a
right.
whole
All right. This
novella.
is great.
Yeah. Okay. Halo Combat Evolved.
um, First Halo, so I just, yeah, playing that on the PC, and really joining a nav is the big highlights there.
Okay. Sure. That's fairly reasonable answer, I guess. I mean, like, hackers do a lot of background work. It's important to remember.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, like,
Uh-huh.
Halo 2.
Halo 2, my really, what I like best about it is it's pretty much the hardest one out there as far as campaign goes. If you put it, skulls and all that stuff on, it's like nigh impossible. It's a
I thought it
good
was
challenge.
really cool being on Earth too. Uh,
Yeah, and actually doing the
yeah,
ring thing.
yeah.
Delta
Halo
Halo.
3, which
Halo
you kind of
3.
expounded on, but yeah.
Yeah, I already expanded on that. I mean, there's just so many good things in Halo 3. There's like skulls, finding the skulls like seemed like the first time we were doing that more in that game, where you find all these Easter eggs that Bungie left behind. Co-op, split screen, Forge, theater mode. you name it. Halo 3 had just about it all. I mean, even that Bungie, the Bungie Share program thing that they had going on back then in those days.
I just had an exception error on this website that I'm on, that I'm reading them off of, which I'm curious if this website is going to be as good as me at remembering. Like, it's giving them to me chronologically, so it might be better, but we'll see. Because I wouldn't be able to tell you the years for the life of me. Like, I'm just bad at that. But except for Halo 1 being in 2001, obviously. But it just had an exception error, so I think the hackers are trying to get to me too. So
Wow. Everybody's out to get us these days.
They're trying to protect you by like destroying my list here. Jokes on them though. I know too much about Halo for that.
If they're like AIs like Cortana, they're they're adjusting as we're talking. They're listening to this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I think I went through everything. I deleted everything that I sent to everybody in Discord.
You heard him admit it. I sent. Okay.
You couldn't see me because that's the visual bit, but I did air quotation.
Okay. So sorry, I just lost my spot here. Hang on. All right. Halo Wars.
Halo Wars. What about
I should also be asking you what date these came out on too, to test your knowledge on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halo Wars. What's my favorite thing about Halo Wars?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the first real-time strategy game for Halo, and I really like the CGI on like the cutscenes, and the music. Those are the big things that stand out for me in that game.
Was that Blur who did the cutscenes for them?
I don't know if that Blur did it or not. I know they did.
Or was that Certain Affinity, maybe? I'm not sure.
Can't remember who did the in between scenes for those, but they were great. Back then, anyways. Of course, I'm sure they're a little dated now, but yeah, they were great. And again, always, Halo's always had iconic music, and they really like stepped it up a notch for Halo Wars. I felt like.
Oh, apparently a guy named Halo 2 Freak of Clan Infectionist and Louis Wu of HBO helped. Well, no, that's the re-encoding. That's not actually the creation of them. Interesting. Yep, created by Blur. Look at that. Very cool. Blur does good work.
Look at that. You do know stuff too.
All right.
Or wait a minute. So, I mean, how do we know you're not AI? You're just looking all these answers up.
I'm not the one who got hacked today, sir. Okay,
that's true. You're not the one on the
not
stand.
today. All right. Yeah. Halo 3 ODST. What's your favorite thing about that?
Well, I mean, again, back to the music. I love the opening sequence.
I don't see how anyone doesn't say music for that. Like, there's a lot of good things about ODST, but man, that music.
Yeah, well, that opening sequence with the music. I mean, that's that gets you right in, and it's not long, but it's enough to like, okay, we're the UNSC, the Covenants. We're in this battle with the Covenants, and we're losing. I mean, that grabs you real quick. But the piano, the soulful saxophone, and then as you go in and like you start the game, just like in a kind of more of an open world kind of style game. And that's one of the things that I liked about it. Again, and then you've got on the terminals, like that iconic sound. What's the name? I'm spacing, but man, it's so iconic, and I can't even think of the name of it.
The sound that the engineer makes or whatever, like the No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but there's a name for it, and I can't.
Yeah. Well, that's suspect that you can't think of it. That's kind of a little bit concerning.
Well, a hacker will be able to pinpoint it because they already studied me. I'm showing that I'm human because I can't remember. See, there you go. another verification point. I'll think of it here in a little bit. It'll come to me, but I can't think of it right now. Anyways, huge highlights for that game. The game was so good. Plus, again, there at the end where we did the couple of VidMaster challenges, the one in firefight and the one on the last mission. Those were some crazy times. I wish I had some replay of some of that stuff we did in like super laggy connection. It was just crazy. Good times.
Sorry, I'm just looking it up too because I'm curious. Oh, okay. Now I remember. All right, cool. I remember by looking it up, but you know, I mean, like,
I remember now.
yeah. Okay, so next, Halo Reach.
Oh, we're talking about Halo Reach. Well, oh man. Well, so Halo Reach is like the first transition into like using armor abilities, and that was, you know, and then I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was something different. I mean, like the hardcore, I guess you could say the original 3 that are, you can't touch the multiplayer and everything, I get it, but I was really excited to see them experiment with everything and like see this backstory of what's going on in Reach. So seeing a new planet and everything, that's a highlight. Also, another really cool highlight for me for the armor abilities is my favorite is armor lock. I know it's not like most people probably wouldn't think that, but I just something about it. I think it was special. And I would always try to do my best to like use it, and
The
make
point
it
where
work.
they've carried over variants of it into every single Halo game since, in one way or another.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, there's just something cool about like overcharging your shields so that people can't damage you, and then like even EMPing people with it. That was just a really cool feature.
Or like people won't know this necessarily, probably not, because I can see the view count right now on YouTube. But the Jacket Weaver trailer for the machinima that we like messed around with, like featured Winter, our main character, using armor lock when it came down to it to like defeat those 2 ghosts.
Yep.
Which was actually really
I've had some very cool moments with armor lock, and it just it's just a cool thing.
And I was inspired by like, actual usage of armor lock and how cool it can be at certain times. Yeah.
The downside Reach, as most people know, is no BR, only DMR. That's a really good verification point for me. A lot of people wouldn't know that,
I mean, I don't know. Like
I'm a
again,
BR,
like I mean,
I'm a BR main as when it comes down to it. DMR, those are for the birds. I mean, Johnny's gun and yours probably as well.
Mine, yes, absolutely. Although, you know what's actually made me appreciate the BR more, ironically, is it being in Destiny.
I bet.
For some reason, that's actually helped me appreciate the BR, the battle rifle more. Okay. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary.
Halo Combat Evolve Anniversary.
Yes.
Well, I mean, obviously,
man,
being able to cycle back. And
first of all, what year do you think that came out?
2010 or 2011.
2011. I mean. Yeah, that's insane, dude. It came out 15 years ago. That's wild.
Yeah. No, it's been a bit. It is crazy. Yeah. It is crazy.
Oh man.
But I remember it came out right after, Reach, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to do this." It's not a it wasn't remake, it was a remaster. And I always get those two confused because I'm always thinking, "Oh, they're doing a whole remake." But a remaster is not a remake. Just telling you, everyone.
Sure. Yeah.
So don't get confused on that. A remaster is them like smoothing up the edges, making it polished, and they're making you pay for the same.
Or even potentially, I mean, like, yeah, basically up-resing it in various ways. Like, I mean, like, yeah.
But
essentially
I
making it look better
it.
with, yeah. Whereas remake is
The
like from
cool
the
thing
ground up,
about it,
like
the cool thing
rebuilding.
about it for sure is like, okay, here's some stuff that they embellish, and it's not actually part of the actual core foundation. Like you go into the old stuff and you can't stand on it, and you don't know why. Like you have to flip flop back and forth. And I find that kind of fascinating too. Is like some of the old stuff look better, sometimes the new stuff look better, but sometimes the new stuff was just like filler and it wasn't actually part of the fabric of
Sure.
stuff you were standing on, which is interesting.
Huh.
I feel like when you're playing through the game.
Well, I recall like seeing something, and not to like, I don't think it's it's not a spoiler. For the Halo remake coming up allegedly this year, still apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, which is crazy that we don't have a date. I have a theory about that, but I don't want to. You know what? No, I will say it. I think they're going to try to shadow drop it on the June like showcase.
That would be cool.
That's a
But
wild. That's
only
a
if
wild thing that like I don't
that's
think
like
that they could
Wild
actually
West
get
of
away with.
thinking right there.
Like I mean, like, and I don't even know if they'll pull it off, but I think there's at least someone with the idea of like the reason why we don't have a firm date, because my guess is that it's either done or very, very close to done, with like maybe some like polishing and bug fixing and stuff. My guess is because they keep on saying Halo's coming out this year. Like the only way they could know that and not have a firm date on it is if they want to like catch us by surprise. I feel like
Yeah,
I could be
and if
wrong
they
about that, but like,
yeah,
man,
we
what
could,
a freaking
but it would be
awesome shadow
cool.
drop! You know, I mean, like that would be incredible.
Well, and it's also
Um,
like if again, if they say it, then maybe they already have it done. But I mean, again, they've said a lot of things in the past, so I don't know.
they have,
I'd
but they've
hope
been
to
working on
think.
this. First of all, this was the first like new Halo project that they were working on after Infinite, right? And
True.
well, with the exception of like testing out some stuff with like the new engine and everything. Uh, but also like, so they've been working on this for a while, and then
Yeah, I
like,
mean, I think it was just like a year or two after Infinite they started working on this. Plus, I mean, if you don't have what multiplayer you have to worry about and all that sort of thing, then you can dial in. And plus, it's something they
right.
already know what to expect as far as the game. I
Well,
think
and that's my
they're
thing.
making it a
It's
little
like,
bit
yeah,
different, but yeah, they
exactly.
should know
Like,
what to
yeah,
expect a little
like
bit.
in essence, you know what it is, right? Like, because you're kind of going like you've got the blueprints already because you have the original game. This is just a remake of it, and from everything they've said, it seems like they plan on following pretty closely, and shown for that matter, they're planning on following pretty closely to the original game, like just making it like better and rebuilding it from the ground up. So I mean, like ultimately, if that's the case, then like that's a lot of work that they don't have to worry about, you know? And like, I mean, yeah, th- it's a crazy thought. It would be a crazy thing to do. But like, also, Microsoft, like, I could see them going, like, hey, we need a win right now. This is absolutely a win. Let's try to go for it. But I mean, like, that's just, that's
Yep, only if
conjecture.
they
That's
get it done
speculation.
and get it all the way
And
done. That's
yeah.
the thing.
And well, but also no multiplayer also like halves the production time,
Yep.
because then you don't have to worry about like balancing or anything too. Not
Well,
just
that
creation of
not just
maps and
that, but
everything, but like,
networking is a
yeah.
huge
And
portions of it
networking.
as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah.
So if you can
Well,
get those out, your
yeah.
engineers are free, and getting to like really isolate on just that one project. And if all your teams are not split, again, that's a huge thing when any of these projects are undertake is like splitting the project between, okay, you're
Oh,
taking the
sure.
multiplayer portion, you're doing the
Well,
forging or whatever, and it's just like splitting them up. Now, if you have your whole team working on this one
I don't
like
like that I forgot
designated
his name.
project, that's going to be, yeah, so much quicker. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm excited. I would really like to see that
I think it is
drop.
coming this year. I think it's almost done, if not done. And I think like they will try to shadow drop it. Those are my like three things. And I could be wrong about all three of those, but like the first two I think are pretty solid, you know? And so I guess we'll see, right? But that would be a crazy thing to shadow drop.
That would be amazing. See, there are certain things that you should not shadow drop, and there's other things like this one thing, for example, that should be shadow dropped
Yeah.
because it's a game that we've already experienced, but this would be like for the next generation. Plus, they're adding new things to it as well. So that'd be enough to like, oh yeah, get everybody hyped back up for it, and again, give something new. Like visually speaking, it's gonna be so much new. As far as that, it's gonna be a lot of good eye candy in that game, versus what C's been in the past, and you're gonna get all these new players from a new generation of kids who don't even know what Halo is, except what they played in Fortnite. They're like, oh yeah, the guy in the Fortnite. That thing, that annoying thing. So we need. It's so annoying. But we need the next generation.
Yeah. Oh, I might have just broken my controller by dropping it. That's not good.
So funny enough about this, I'm going to sidebar here real quick. It's funny enough about this hacking. I am getting notifications now, like sound alerts that I turned off a long time ago. So not only were they sending out messages to people with this, they turned on my notifications for some weird reason.
That's really annoying.
That is stupid annoying. But it's like, why? Like, why would you do that? This person just really must, trying to get under people's skin. Like that's how they get their kicks. Anyways.
But so like also that was kind of what killed Anthem. Part of the like there were a lot of things that killed Anthem, but like one of the problems with Anthem was like the fact that they lost a bunch of their team to work on like the next Dragon Age game. And like there was just a lot of like continued like fighting over like personnel, because BioWare was trying to do a bunch of different things at the same time.
Dedicated team like let's say Destiny had, or any other studio that's just like, okay, we're just gonna see this through the whole year or two or lifespan of it. It would have been different. I guarantee it. The store wouldn't have been like the way it was for like the whole lifespan of it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what in the world?
That's one of my killing points. Yeah.
That is one of the biggest killing points of that game. It looks so beautiful in so many different ways. And like when you're customizing.
And I would have bought so many things like in the store too.
I mean, how can you not promote your own game? And when people are out there like, oh yeah, we definitely could, would and use that, so like we would definitely get it. And yeah, that's when you, I don't know. It's just so new, I guess.
Also, as an aside, yes, dear listener, we will bring up Anthem like every episode. That will happen.
Well, David brings up Anthem.
Johnny, I think we all do. I think okay. I don't think it's just me.
But it's Johnny too. Is like, oh yeah, but he's always mentioning it to you in the light of like, oh yeah, that's it. And then Johnny, he always he likes to reference. Well, he's got a couple things. Jeff Keighley's the big thing as of late. But his game that it's always Destiny. We come back to Destiny and how it breaks his heart.
Yeah. Specifically with that helmet or whatever.
Yeah, it's always the helmet. Okay, let's not sugarcoat it. But it is funny. It is funny.
We all have bits is what those are called. Okay. In the comedy business, reoccurring bits. Speaking of reoccurring bits, how do you feel? Actually, no relevance whatsoever. How do you feel about Halo 4?
Oh, Halo 4. So kind of touched a little bit on this. Really enjoyed the story for Halo 4. I feel like, after not having a game for a little bit that wasn't part of Master Chief's story, coming back to Master Chief's story after, Halo 3, this one was actually kind of a full send, home run for me. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed where they left it. And the whole idea that he's on this different planet or self-made planet, so to speak, and having the didact and just like some other core elements to the franchise, just really cool. I really enjoyed that. But then you go to the multiplayer, and that's where I kind of like, it's probably my least played Halo when it comes down to it. There was a lot going on. It wasn't just because of that, but it was something about, it just didn't feel like Halo. It felt more like a Call of Duty, with all the stuff that, it was cool, but it was cool up to a point that you got burnt out. And then it's like, well, this we're
Well,
done
like
now.
even to the point of like having like streaks and stuff, right? To call down like ordnance or
Yeah, you're
whatever,
calling down
and like and
ordinances
it's
and
like, what are
stuff
we
like
doing
that.
here? Yeah,
Well, and it just
and then
there's
like the
something
HUD,
about it that
like having a
was
certain like look to it and everything that felt like
yeah,
almost like less sci-fi when it
had
came down to it, which is a weird thing to say, but yeah,
yeah, it was like I don't know, it was like
yeah.
almost like sporty looking. I don't know. But of course, Halo
Some of the maps were
5.
really cool though. I will say that, and some of them live in my head rent free. Like, oh yeah, I think
Oh
about like
yeah,
some of
for
those maps
sure.
like all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think one of the things for sure about Halo 4 is like I can't remember any of the names of the
Oh
maps.
sure. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And it was just something about the iconicness of it. It
I would
it felt
kind of
so
say
much.
though, like
It
in
it
terms of
it
names,
was
like
Halo, but it was like a loose Halo so much so that um it the whole replayability for me, like and that's why I fell off. I think for a lot of people too, it's just like you got to a certain thing and it's just like I was having trouble um recognizing, I guess, is this where do I
right.
distinguish what a
Well,
Halo
it's
game
kind of like
is?
a
And
question of identity. Yeah, at a
yeah,
certain
it was
point. Yeah.
definitely an identity. It was like a lost identity in a way for multiplayer. Not saying that you couldn't have some good competitive or even just like fun matches, but there was just something about it, something different that just didn't hit the right marks for me. And
Uh,
even Halo 5, going into Halo 5, the multiplayer was better for sure, but then they went the other side. It was like super competitive, everything. And I know a lot of people that I really enjoyed it when I was playing it, but looking back, I probably wouldn't be like that was my favorite experience of
well,
Halo
I would say,
multiplayer.
man, like it just feels like a different game. It almost feels like Tribes in a way, like
Yeah, and again, the armor
in a
in that
good
game was
way,
just
but
totally different
like
too,
yeah,
like
like it's
right on
just it
the
feels like a
threshold of
spin-off of
4.
Halo. But also though too, when it comes down to like Halo 5, technically, like I mean you're playing as like Spartan 4s or whatever, right? Or something like that.
Right, but
So I mean like,
you're still
like
Master Chief though in the story, and
yeah,
he's got all
yeah.
these different
Well, and
things as
he's the
well.
same too. Yeah, yeah, throughout. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, I
So
agree.
it
And then,
and
but
of course Halo 5 story as you know was not great. It was short,
well,
sweet, and didn't fill any of the gaps the way we needed to. Plus,
yeah. When
Halo
it cuts
4
off
left
like
it at
halfway through, it
yeah,
feels like
Halo
yeah,
4 did such a good job at like just letting Cortana make that ultimate sacrifice, and then Halo 5 just like, well, she's back. It's just
yeah.
like
It almost
exactly
felt like
like that.
Last Jedi, like a little bit. Yeah,
Oh man,
in
yeah.
regards to like
Halo 5
switching
is the
things up.
last Jedi of the of the
Yeah.
master of the Halo franchise for sure.
Which means
Unfortunately.
some people will like stand it like super hard. It goes down to it. I can't stand that. Have you seen that lately? I don't know. Like the algorithm of like social media has decided to make me angry all the time, right?
It
And
knows what you
like I mean,
like slash
and
don't
so
like.
so it knows to feed me politics because it knows that will get me riled up, right?
Well,
Especially like dumb
yeah.
political takes. And then also it will feed me like things like Halo 5 was actually a great game, or like Last Jedi was actually like the best Star Wars movie. And it's like,
Oh
what
my
are you
goodness.
talking about? Like,
That is the worst take I've ever heard. Hey,
like, hey, you can have your preferences. That's totally fine. But like, and
Last Jedi. Oh man, it kills me.
I can see you enjoying it. But I mean, like, like it doesn't exist in a vacuum. Like, I mean, you can't say
Like,
that.
yeah,
Like,
you
I
can
mean, like,
enjoy it in your space all day long as you want,
yeah.
but when you start talking to people, real true fans, yeah, get out of here.
I don't even
Get
want
out
to
of here
say
with that.
like real true fans because I don't want to gatekeep, but I do want to say like I mean like
Yeah,
in
well, I
terms
do,
of
and it's like, get out. I'm gonna pull a Johnny, and I'm just like, get out. We don't want to. Anyhow, no, I mean, yeah,
oh, I think
they're
I fixed my controller. Cool. But
Last Jedi, the the worst, and then
well,
Rise
but
of
it's the
Skywalker.
worst because it doesn't honor the characters. That's the problem with it.
Well, and that's
It's
what
like
kills me too.
yeah, yeah.
It's not my Luke. He's not my Luke. Okay, that's not my Luke. And yeah,
But even
I will die
regardless
on
of
that
that,
hill.
like it doesn't follow up on like like everything that the previous movie set up. It kind of disrespects that, on purpose. It seems like, and like I mean, like it just yeah. and then it leads
Well,
to
yeah, they go
Rise of
through the whole thing
Skywalker
and just
being what it is.
like you're
Yeah,
saying, disrespect and this kill off this
yeah.
character and we'll kill off this one and this one and this one.
Like it's
And it's like, really?
it's very intended to be like a subversive, like who's the real bad guy kind of movie, you know? And I get what they were kind of going for there in terms of like making you question certain things, like, oh, anyone can have the Force. It doesn't have to be a bloodline thing. That's kind of a cool direction to go in. But it also is very much a bloodline thing. It is a genetic disposition that gets passed down. Like, I mean, like, we can't just ignore that, you know? I mean, like, and like, I mean, like,
Well,
when
you
it comes
can't.
down to the subversiveness of, like, oh, well, I mean, like, maybe Kylo Ren is actually a good guy, or like that he has a redeemable, like, you know, like, which he kind of does in Rise. I
Which, yeah,
understand that and
I
everything.
don't mind
But I
that
mean,
take
like, yeah,
necessarily, but when you have long-lasting characters that we all again have grown up with, and parents have grown up, and great, really great grandparents, and so many people all the way from when it came back. It's just like it's crazy to think that you have a better direction than everybody else, that
right.
the
Well, like,
predecessor of that,
you're
and
literally
the fact that
subverting
you
things that
go
already
and
exist. Yes,
disrespect,
exactly. Yeah,
like
yeah.
especially like Admiral Akbar comes to mind. It's just like how they handled that. I
Oh,
don't know.
sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's just one of them. That's just a little one, but it's
Right.
just like, really, like
Or like
that's how you're gonna
Leia in
spin them off?
space. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
like that's just a meme, though. You know, I mean, like there's no real like actual like gravity there, pun intended. You know, I mean, like, yeah.
yep. But
But back to Halo. Uh, Halo Spartan Assault.
okay, so I actually enjoyed Halo Spartan Assault, but there's a caveat there. Really good single player, and for some reason, if I remember correctly, uh, it was also on my tablet or something like that, and I feel like
Sure.
one of the versions was better. I can't remember what it was, but really enjoyed it playing by myself. But when you get into the co-op, they just like it could have been great. It could have been amazing. A top-down shooter. I mean, I don't play a lot of top-down shooters, but for a Halo one, it was actually a lot of fun. But when they go in and they have all these missions, and then they don't make those missions co-op,
Right.
and it just seems
First
like
Halo
a
game to not
disservice.
have like co-op. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but they did have a co-op, and I guess I kind of appreciate it
Well,
that they
campaign
at
co-op.
least, yeah,
Yeah.
that they at least had like this survival. It's
Like,
basically like a
can
horde
I
mode,
just
like
say it is
Firefight.
wild? It is absolutely wild that Halo Wars not only had like multiplayer, which wasn't a given, you know, they didn't need to do that, but also had campaign co-op. That's pretty
That's
wild,
right. Yeah,
you know?
and
And
not even to the fact that you could like share. I don't know if that was like a big thing at the time,
oh, share a base or whatever.
but you
Yeah,
could
that's
actually
really cool actually.
share
Yeah. I
component.
think
Yeah, you
Age
could
of
actually be
Empires
the
already had
same
that, but
team.
yeah, it's really
And
cool.
so you could
Yeah,
like
yeah.
work together, like, okay, I'm going to go over here, you go over there, and almost be like an AI in a way, like because you could just divide and conquer at that
Right.
point.
Yeah, like
So
hey,
I mean,
you
there was a
take
lot
care
of
of
really
military
cool
stuff, I'll
elements.
take care of home, you know. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Spartan Strike and Spartan Assault, you know, they they could have been better when it comes to that, integrating more people to play together. Because let's be fair, Halo, you know, good story. Halo's always had decent story for sure, but another one big and maybe the biggest component of it is being able to play together with your friends. And so
Yes.
if you don't have that, that's kind of like you're losing your identity as Halo. So if you're not playing through these missions, like, and again, that was another Infinite problem right there, because so many people played Halo, growing up. They play the campaign with a certain buddy or two, and you go through the first time together. And in Halo Infinite, they said they would. They dropped the ball, and that is another reason why the open world campaign thing fell short, because a lot of people were wanting to do that, and either they did it single player like I did, and probably you did. I think we all did, but we never ended up going back and playing through it together. And so even for us who ended up playing through it, we still not really gone through it all the way together. And then
Sure.
those other
Yeah.
people, so they might
And I
have
would say
never
we're
even played it
like you, me, and
because
Johnny. I
they
would say are like more than like average fans. Like I would say that we're well, not like all Halo all the time, always, I wouldn't
Right,
say we're
but
that,
you were
but I would
more
say that like
you're
we're
on the more
definitely more
yeah,
invested than like your average like even shooter player when it comes down to it. Like we like the story, we've played all the games. Like I mean, like yeah, we've
yeah, I would
we've
say you
like
guys
literally played all the games day
go through
one.
different
Like
modes
when
of
it comes down
Halo.
to it, yeah.
Yeah, like you
And
go
so
through different
like
levels of
for us
loving
three
Halo, but yeah.
to not do the Halo Infinite campaign together is kind of insane. Like
Well,
to not do
and
it all the
again,
way
it goes
through.
back
Yeah.
to like again why it didn't do as well as it could have
And this is
because
coming from
people
someone who
expect
loved
this
the
from
Infinite
Halo.
campaign but wanted it to be co-op. Like I mean, like yeah,
Right, if that had
yeah.
initially been co-op and then that could have kind of like been like a almost like a resurgence to it in a way, like getting everybody, oh, we're feeling it again. We're feeling like they really care about Halo co-op and about our playing these games together. If everybody had experienced it in that way when the first time they played it, the way they expected to and the way they did growing up, then we might even have still support for that. They might have come out with new things on that open world. I mean, the
Right.
limit. I mean, it was the possibilities were unlimited, really,
Yeah. And
in
well,
that
and the story
sandbox.
even seems to set it up, as a live service. Like, and the way that they were talking about it before launch seemed to set it up as like a whole, like, yeah, we're going to keep this going. But I think they wanted so badly for the multiplayer to be a return to form, which I would argue now that it very much is, but it just doesn't have the audience for it. Right. Uh, like,
Yeah, Halo Infinite's multiplayer
yeah,
is right on. I mean, it's
yeah.
great.
But
But
like,
again, what did you sacrifice
that
to make
first
sure that
impression
people
and
could
then like
play?
trying
Yeah.
to like get the balance right and like taking a whole like what year and a half I think, right,
Yeah,
on that, like,
it was quite a long time. Yeah.
and like that taking precedent and you canceling everything else. And I mean there's some people who have come out and said like no, we'd never had like anything planned or whatever. I don't fully believe that, because I don't see how you write the story that Halo Infinite had and don't have anything planned to follow it up, and how you talk about it being like a continuous like living world and you name it Halo Infinite and you don't have any plan to do anything with like the campaign side of it. I don't see how that's possible.
No, yeah, I mean,
So I mean
I
like
don't care what anybody
like
says. I believe
I
that, it was supposed to be like a continuous live service game for sure.
like
They were
maybe they
expecting
never like
big, they
had
were
like the whole
going all
team brought
in.
in to do that, but like yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure that there were at
they
least
might have
some
been a little
people
bit
who were
more
yeah,
ambitious than they could, biting off more than they can chew, and they
right.
realized that once they started getting to the multiplayer side, okay, we've got to at least give them multiplayer, and they were
Which,
getting all these problems with,
to be fair,
slip.
there were a lot of bugs when Halo multiplayer first came out. I mean, like
Yeah,
that's not
and then
untrue.
them,
Like,
having all these issues with the slipstream engine and all that.
yeah,
It's
or
just
big team battles and all that and
it's
everything, and just
it's
like yeah, it
unfortunate,
was
but
like one thing after another. Yeah,
I guarantee it was not supposed to be, just ended where it was going to, because it doesn't feel like that when you play through it. And
right.
I've, they even talk about um how what's his name, uh it's been too much. It's been too long. It's been a Monday. Let me just put it like that. My brain's everywhere and scattered. But
Yeah,
like when they were working on the story, they were talking about like other ways they were going to go, after Infinite, like continuing the story. This was for sure on their list because they were talking about in pre-interviews. I watched many of them. And so it was not supposed to be, ended where they left it. But again, we're going back to Halo CE with this remake that they're doing. I still want to know what's going on. I still want to know what happens in the story. So I'm interested
yeah.
to see when we get that. I mean, it's probably gonna take a little bit because they're trying to reprioritize with all that stuff when it comes to Halo. But hey, we need those answers. I don't know. I wonder how they're gonna do it and what's the best answer, because it's a tough one. It's a tough one
Yeah.
to say. Okay, from Halo Infinite, what do you do that they didn't already try with it? To try to like make it different, because again, I was one of the people who in in the insider Halo Insider stuff, like, hey, let's do open world, let's do kind of like ODST on steroids. That's like one of the biggest things, and I feel like they
Yeah.
hit that with Halo Infinite, but then they left it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Even to the point of like actually making it fun to traverse too. Like,
Oh
man,
yeah,
that
it's
is a
great.
lot of fun to like
If
grapple
if
around.
it was
It
still
really
like
is.
again, it goes back to like the whole high guard thing. If you know it's failing, you're not going to play it, you're not going to download it, you're not going to put your time into it.
Sure.
Well, if they're not supporting it as a live service, it's hard to go back there. In a way, even in the back of my mind, it's like even all the games that we played in the past, like Halo, like any of the Halo games or Call of Duties or any of the games that you played through, and then the multiplayer is done and they're on to the next one. You don't go back to it like after a year or something like that. That's just how it is.
Right. Yeah.
That's just normal, like how games traversed. But then they had a chance to make it more of a live service kind of thing, and I could have seen it. I would have liked to been in that game, like and just like having updates and new things, just like little events, maybe a little bit of Destiny in it, maybe not completely all like Destiny, all in like on the live service, but like just a little bit, just something to keep scratching the Halo itch that all us huge fans have, like just like to be in the universe, give us reasons to come back. That's what you have to do. I mean, that's what Fortnite does and all other live service games. They give you reasons to come back in the world, And that would have been really cool, especially how vast the Halo universe is. I mean, we were talking last week or the week before about Halo books and things like that. There's so much there that hasn't even been like delved into. So much. So that going forward, who's who's to say? Who's to say what's going to happen? But
Right.
I always hope for the best.
Yeah. I can't believe that you hoped to be hacked. That's crazy.
Never hope
So
for that.
Going back to Halo Remake real quick, one of the things that I had is like a potential topic, but like since you're here, we might as well, I guess, do it. I was thinking the other day about one thing I would change about Halo Remake. That's different from the original, like just as a little surprise. And so I figured I'd ask that question to you. What is one thing that you would change about Halo Remake?
What would I change about
If you were
if
remaking like the
if
first
I was
Halo
remaking it and
game,
I had
yeah.
any option, like any of the tools at my disposal, what would I remake in
What
Halo?
would you change about it? Yeah. Beyond just like modernizing it or whatever.
Man, that's a really hard question, to tell you the truth. I mean, I played through
I
CE
can
so
start.
much. Yeah, you go
Um
ahead and start. I don't really have
the one thing
something.
I would change, and originally I was going to limit this to just like the beginning, but really throughout, is the interior environments being like more mazy, like being like a bigger, because they always seemed like a little bit too small. Like you would like be through the Pillar of Autumn like pretty quickly overall. The only problem is that you'd get lost a bunch of times, so it would feel like it would take forever, but like ultimate, if the Pillar of Autumn actually felt like as big as it's supposed to be, or some of the other interior environments also felt
Okay.
like as
Yeah.
big as they're supposed to be, like I feel like that would be really cool. Uh, I mean, I wouldn't want to like make them too big because you don't want that to like become like 90% of the game, but I would want to make them a little more complex. Like, I mean, like how we see like environments nowadays, right? Like that's one
Right.
thing I would like to change.
Yeah. I so
Just
there's a
imagine like
couple.
I mean like for instance like stuff being on different like floors of the Pillar of Autumn. Like
Mhm.
you don't ever get that in the game, right? Like I mean essentially you're on one flat plane the entire time, you know?
That's true. But
Yeah.
they do in when you actually go to the Covenant ship in Truth and Reconciliation. Now they actually give you floors in that one. So that's something that they actually do interesting. Is it like they do they do that in that capacity. But I'm right there with you. They don't do again. Back in 2001, they were a little bit more limited with what they could do. But like, yeah, just making it really immersing you. I guess I'm right there with you on that. Like somehow making it a little bit more like believable, really pulling you into like you're really in this. Maybe maybe even a little bit like we have Halo Reach, but I wouldn't mind having a little bit like in between what's going on. Maybe I don't know. I could see an extra mission in there. The biggest thing that comes to mind though is like on some of those missions, you're going back through the same way, and you just have no idea where you're going. And I like
Sure.
that,
Yeah.
but don't again kind of falls in along what you were saying about like reusing the same pathways. That was one of the things that got so confusing, like in two betrayals, I think it was. Like you would get lost. You would think you're going the right way. You go all the way to the end, and then you realize everything looks the same. You know,
Right. Yeah. I
it
call
looks
that
so the same.
I mean, no offense to it because I actually think it's a great game and I really enjoy it, but the division problem is what I call that because
Mhm.
like everything in the division just felt like kind of the same. Like, I mean, like every building kind of looked identical and it's like, okay, like every now and then there'd be landmarks, but by and large, like it just like it got really hard to tell where you were. Like it could have literally been any block. And I mean, like Halo obviously came out a long time before that, so obviously they had their own constraints in terms of that. But like, yeah, like that's actually probably my biggest problem with like the Pillar of Autumn level too. Is like, I mean, or like, shoot, even not the library.
The
I don't
flood
know.
level.
Yeah, one of those missions later on when you're fighting the flood and everything, where
Yeah.
everything kind of looks the same or
Mhm.
whatever, and it's like, okay, like I mean, like this is like not only is it kind of like okay this backdrop like is kind of boring but it's also like okay like where am I, there's like no real like ability to like find my bearing at all, like the signposting isn't there, the and again 2001 game, so I mean like you know like
Yeah,
it's like
for
I
what it
mean how much
is, it
hate can I
is
give it
yeah.
for that, you know, I mean like really,
For
but
how
yeah,
old it is, I mean, it
and
is
especially
like
for that
crazy.
game to come out in 2001 and being the way that it was is pretty incredible, really. But yeah,
Yeah, and the fact that it's been remastered and been put into MCC and people play it so much still, and then now being remade. So another thing I guess that just came to mind when you're talking about the flood, like being introduced first into the flood. Again, making any of these levels like on this bigger scale of like you're really being immersed in this is not just kind of like this small area that they only had to work with. Now we can actually
right.
explore all this in for one the Halo ring, really doing justice to how big these are, and the ecosystems that are in them, and then like the first encounter with the flood, like giving you more of those elements of like what is going on. Maybe a little bit of thriller horror esque to it, like really get you in there, because this is this is a blight on civilization. It's like these things, are
Would
murderous
argue,
creatures.
I would
Like
argue that like if you're not expecting it, the flood hits pretty hard. You know,
yeah,
I mean, like, I
yeah, but
like in terms of like it might wear
not
off relatively quickly, but I mean, like that first hit is pretty
yeah,
like
but I mean,
from the
I'm just
helmet
saying,
video to the first encounter, it's like, oh wow, this is like wow, this is crazy. Like what the heck, like you know,
right.
like
No,
yeah,
I don't disagree, but I'm saying they can dig into that even
sure,
more
yeah,
because
yeah,
we've
yeah,
got better
agreed,
visuals,
yeah,
better
yeah.
everything. Like we can actually really get into like maybe even that. I don't know, like lights flickering. I don't know. It just seems like that would be something that would be kind of cool to like, and we're gonna see it. I mean, everything's gonna be remade into a way that's more high fidelity. That's almost like like
Right.
graphics are
Like out
today.
of all the
Like
things we've
things are
mentioned,
great.
I would say the flood being like more like realistic and scary, I could absolutely see happening. Right.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I would not be
And
shocked if
we've
that
even
is
talked about
actually already,
the flood
yeah,
being
a
like
thing.
even like a Halo horror style game, like
Sure.
in
Yeah,
the future. It could definitely happen because they're horrific.
they are. Yeah.
And when you're fighting for your life and those the flood forms are chase you, it's like it is pretty scary. It's pretty scary.
Okay, back to your security exam here. Halo: The Master Chief Collection. We'll
Halo
speed
the
through the rest of
Master
these. Yeah.
Chief Collection. So, what is the question about it?
Like what's because you said that you like all the Halo games or whatever. You don't have really any favorites besides Halo 3, so we're going back to like why you like it. Why
Well,
it's one of your favorites. Why
Halo 3 or MCC?
MCC?
Okay, so MCC, I spent a lot of time, like most people, in those first few months in the lobby, trying to play a game. It was great.
So that's why it's one of your favorites is because you got stuck in the lobby. Okay, interesting
No,
take.
no.
That very much sounds like something a hacker would say, but okay.
No, I just was thinking about like, okay, we can even play for a good while. But no, I mean, what they did with the remaster, like, so they remastered Halo 1, right? But when they did the whole remaster for Halo 2 in this, so much better. It just looks great. Like the maps they did for
Sure.
Halo 2,
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like everything just feels great. So getting some of those remasters in MCC is probably my favorite thing. Like just getting that crispy feel of like you know, like the next level of, the next generation of Halo, I guess at that point. Halo 2 maps, they were great. They were gorgeous. They played great. Everything felt really good when, you could actually connect online and everything. And like
That's fair. Yeah.
lockdown, I mean, like just so many good ones. So many good maps that they redid. I mean, I wish there were more obviously, but you know, you can only get so much. But
I kind of
what they
I'm
did for what they
man.
did and the little Easter eggs and like the soda cans and things like that, they were great. The ones that they did like that, and I really enjoyed like the art in all of them.
I really like that MCC is like just a collection of all the games. Well, like as it says, like Master Chief Collection,
Hmm.
right? I think that's really cool. Them all being like essentially in a like same menu. I really like the vision of that. Now, the execution, I think, fails in some ways, right? And then I think that they actually did improve some of the failings since then, but then that also made it fail in other ways. Like, for instance, when it came out, I feel like it was way more intuitive to navigate everything than it is now. Now it's kind of complicated. It's kind of like you're literally going through menus trying to figure out like what you're doing. And that's
Yeah,
a little
that is
bit
probably one of the
confusing.
biggest downsides for
Yeah.
MCC is like the
But the
menus is
customization is
yeah.
crazy. Like I mean like being
But
able
yeah,
to
there's so
like
much in that game. It's
oh,
it's like again, they've done so much. They've added so much. Each game has its own like armor and stuff that you can get, which is crazy for games that have been out for so long, and then all of a sudden now you have new things for them. That is unheard of. That is
or
just
even
unheard
like
of.
being able to apply like a control scheme to all the controls of all the games, like to essentially like have like essentially the same buttons be the same buttons throughout. That's really
Right.
neat. That's a small little thing, but I
They've
appreciate it
done
a heck of a
yeah,
lot.
there's so many
Yeah.
of those like little Easter eggs throughout, MCC, and they have done a lot of work on there. Not all of it panned out, not all of it turned out as good as they hoped, or some of the things they
Right.
didn't get to, or again, some of it's like cluttered menus because of all the stuff they got in there, but you have to put it
Yeah.
somewhere.
Like the
So,
composer is a really powerful and really crazy tool in
oh
terms
yeah.
of matchmaking, but it's also like not pretty. Like I mean, like when it comes down to it, it's just not intuitive to use at all. Like it's a very complicated, but it also has so much customization to the point where like you can like really drill down on like this might be an exaggeration, but all games with like green like aesthetics. So like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all
No,
it's just
yeah,
like
that's probably a little extra, but it is
but it's
close to
close
that
to that.
because
Yeah. Like it's
no,
insane.
there again when you give it so many options, Like again, you have that problem. The more options you have, the more clutter you're going to have. That's just how it
Yeah.
is. And they
Yeah.
and they were, I think when it comes down to it, they were wanting to give fans everything they wanted, and regardless of how it looked, it's just like, okay, here it is. This is just a passion project for you guys, and here it all is, all the stuff, so you can do all the things you want.
Now,
Now,
adding ODST and Reach to it, I thought was really cool too. That
yeah,
was post launch or whatever. Yeah.
yep,
Uh,
no, I totally agree, and
yeah.
it's just great to have that collection, like
Yeah.
just all compiled together of games that you grew up with, but it you know at some point it is time to like move forward, and I think it's a real good step to kind of like, okay, let's start for the next generation. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming the remake's not going to MCC, if you know what I mean. So
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, considering that 5 and Infinite didn't, I would assume that the remake isn't as well. Yeah.
right.
Okay. Okay. I like how I said, and we're going to speed through the rest of these, and then like we spend like 10 minutes on MCC, but MCC has a lot of different games in it. Okay, so I mean, like
Yeah, MCC is not
uh,
just one game. They're
yeah.
all the games we talked about
But
and
oof,
more.
also that peer-to-peer like campaign. Oof. Like I mean, like,
Here,
geez,
yeah.
that's rough.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's not
Um.
much to be said about that.
Yeah. Spartan Strike, you already talked about a little bit, but you can continue if you'd like.
Yeah, Spartan Strike, another good game, that top-down shooter that, not you wouldn't
Technically better than
expect how
Spartan Assault in terms of campaign and stuff,
yeah,
like an
no,
improvement.
it's
But
really
I mean,
good, like
like, yeah,
different functionalities, different weapons, different just like really fun as far as playing by yourself. But again, it's not like your mainstay Halo. It'd be like your Halo on the go. Like I'd play that when I didn't have an actual Halo game I could pop in. So I would
right.
play that like on my tablet or something like that I could play it on, or my laptop. It
Which
I
I
it
think is
wouldn't
fine, by the way. Like, I
yeah,
think
there's
that's
nothing
actually
wrong
not
with that.
bad. Yeah,
It fills the gaps, but if I had a mainstay Halo, I wouldn't be playing that game. It's not that much, it wasn't that much to take its place, it couldn't be that kind of Halo for me. Uh, but I would like to see them prove me wrong, like I could get into a top-down Halo shooter and have that same experience if they did it right. But again, single player is great. No multiplayer that I remember, or
no,
was there?
not for Strike. I don't think. No.
I can't remember Spartan Strike. It's been so
Yeah,
long.
I don't think Spartan Strike had any
Yeah, I'm
because
pretty
I
sure they did
recall
away
that
with
being
that.
disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it up here a second.
While you're popping that up, thoughts on? Well, you already gave some on Halo 5 Guardians, and we've already talked about it too, about like how Hunt for the Truth like kind of implied a way different story than what they went with, and
Well,
like
the
all
story that
that.
we wanted to, I think,
Yeah, yeah,
and I think that's what killed it for me more than anything. It's like, man, this is
yeah,
fantastic. Like he's an outcast. He's,
yeah.
they're really searching for him, and then like, no, he's just, what is
I
this
think
storyline?
they do for like 30 seconds, and then like
Yeah,
they're
well,
friends. Like
it
it's like
should have
okay,
like what's the point of this Hunt the Truth leading up to all this if we're not gonna like pick up where they left off? That's the biggest thing for me, I
you build
think.
up something, you have to build it up like proportionally to what it'll actually be. I think is the problem. Like
Yeah,
No Man's
I
Sky
mean
is a
they
great
have to be
example of that.
cohesive
Like where,
stories. Like they're
yeah,
basically two different universe stories at this point. It's
yeah.
like the silver timeline. We got the gold, the silver, and the whatever, the bronze.
Well,
I
and
don't
then there
know.
was that also like, man, I loved that ODST like live action thing that they did. Forget the name of it, but they also did that live action thing with the main guy in Guardians. I forget his name.
Locke. You're talking about Locke?
Oh yeah, Locke. Yeah, Spartan Locke. They did that live action that they only put on. That was the stupid part of it. I mean, it wasn't all that great, but also like it was only on the Halo Channel app. That was the only way you could watch it at first. So it's like, what are we doing here? Like, I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, go to the Halo channel. The what? Now, I like the idea of the Halo channel, but it wasn't enough traffic, to like. I wanted it to be great, but it's just I don't know. I did use it, but it's
Nightfall.
like,
There we go. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like that kind of crippled it. Like you got to go outside and bring it into this, not the opposite way around. Um, I did watch a lot of cool stuff, mostly the behind the scenes of in between like Halos, the really cool videos that they pull you to and the remasters, and they pull you to the Halo channel to do all that stuff. And those were great. Like those terminal videos were really well done as well. I really enjoyed those, like just giving that extra background story of Halo. But again, it have to pop you out of the game and bring you to the Halo channel. And again, I want it to be. It seemed like a cool thing at first, but it just never panned out. It's how it happens sometimes.
Man, I'm trying to figure out what was the name of that ODST, the Academy Halo live action. Remember? The really good one.
Forward unto Dawn or Forward to Dawn.
Yeah, Forward Unto Dawn. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That was so good. That was actually really good.
Yeah. First time
Even
to see
like
Chief and
with
everything.
the perfect cameo for Chief and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
see, that was well done because it's like we didn't have to we didn't have to have a main story chief for that to work.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that was one of the better things about it is like, okay, he's just off the side on the sidelines, and we're
You
experiencing
get to
it
see
from a
just
different
enough of him.
POV.
Like, I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, we've
It's
already
what I
got
kind of
we
wish.
got games, that have him as the main character. We don't. Why not get a different angle? And that's
Kind of wish
I
more
really
of the
like
Marvel
that.
shows would do that, right? Like, I mean, like, the Marvel shows are great and all, I guess, but like, I mean, like, if they had a little bit more cameos of like, like the other characters and stuff, I feel like they'd
Or yeah, main
have a lot more
stories
traction
about
or
people
whatever.
that are in the universe of these main heroes, but it's not about
Sure.
the main heroes. That we just see them cameo again from time to time, but that would be crazy to kind of even relate the stuff to like normal people. So kind of like give you that normal, like these people are in this universe, and it's almost like you can relate to it.
Right.
That'd be cool. That would
Halo
be cool.
Wars 2. How do you feel about that?
Oh, Halo Wars 2, man. I really enjoyed it. I feel like we've had many conversations about like the whole card system,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but like campaign solid. Pretty solid campaign, I have to say. And you get some introduction to Atriox in Halo Wars 2, which is really cool.
Yep.
Kind of like delve into that type of that part of the story that leads into what we see in Halo Infinite, which a lot of people don't realize that. So you kind of have to know all these little side things to like figure out what
Yeah.
in the world's going
Like,
on too.
man, I really like Infinite's campaign a lot, but that would be one mark against it is that it does not introduce the Banished very well.
No,
Like, I mean,
it
like,
doesn't.
yeah.
Like for main people who only play the story of Halo of Master Chief, they would have no idea what's going on. You have to be a crazy diehard fan, who's or even most, maybe not completely, but at least read the books and all the outside, novels or play some of these other games to like get the whole picture. Because if
Right.
you're just playing like Halo 1 through 5, you're like, what? Who's the banished? you know?
Yeah. Okay. Halo Recruit.
Uh Halo Recruit.
See, you are a hacker because you don't know about this one.
Halo Recruit.
This was the mixed reality one.
Oh, well, why would
that
I
you
know
needed
anything
like
about
a
that?
that you like needed like not even a VR helmet, but like a mixed reality helmet. Like for some reason, this wouldn't
That
even
they
work
only
on
allowed
Quest
people
for some
who
reason.
went to like their special conferences.
No, like they put it out on like PC, but like you again, you needed uh like all a headset that would do it, and those headsets would have to have like essentially like the ability to switch to like being able to see like the world around you. And at the time, Meta didn't have one of those because their first Quest couldn't really do that. Even their second Quest couldn't really do that. So I mean, like when it came down to it, like I mean, yeah. So like and also like Steam's VR headset didn't do that either. So like this was something that like very few people probably played because like it was so limited. Like you would have had to spend like 100 to 200 to $300 on like a mid-tier like AR helmet that couldn't do full VR or whatever, and just like I say helmet, headset is what I mean. Helmet would be kind of cool though. If they like, man, I totally would have gotten one of those if it was like a Master Chief helmet that had AR. I still would have done that.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this, to tell you the truth. It's just because it was never something that was like, okay, this doesn't feel like a
It was,
mainstay game.
yeah,
So
nah, it was kind of gimmicky or whatever. Like, I mean, like I saw like a YouTube playthrough of it and it seemed cool, but it was like, yeah, it was kind of more like, oh, this is like Halo in real life, kind of, you know? I mean, like, yeah, holograms and stuff, like really cool, like, but at the same time, like, I mean, like, yeah, not really probably worth like the expenditure on its own, you know, to actually like go through the
right,
trouble of
if they were,
getting to it. Yeah.
if you could see like a foreseeable line of games coming out for it, that would be one thing. But when you have like maybe one thing you're only getting this for, it's really hard to bite that bullet. Really hard to like invest in that. So yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah, I completely forgot all about that. To tell you the truth, yeah,
yeah.
it's not
Uh,
fair.
th-
You're looking at a list here.
uh, Halo. This one is not on my list actually, which I'm kind of upset about. I need to write the writers of this list and complain about it. Uh, Halo Fireteam Raven.
Ah, yes, very very fun.
Yeah, I thought that was
Very.
actually a pretty good game. That was a lot of fun. Being
I
able to play that
If
with
I
you
had
with
access to it and if I had space, I
Johnny
would like to have
and
one of
all
those
that.
cabinets in my
Yeah,
house. You know what I
that
mean?
would be really neat.
It
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
great. Those were great.
yeah, yeah.
Anytime I get a chance, I still, if there's one around, I would definitely go and play it.
I would
But
actually be okay with them making like a PC port of it too. Like
yeah,
it
me
probably
too.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
like super great, but it'd still be fun. I think it's basically an
Nothing
Unreal
wrong with a little
shooter.
bit of arcade games
Like,
and
yeah, yeah.
standard PC or Xbox
I
games
think
too.
with a controller, it would still be relatively fun, like as an
I
Unreal
really
shooter.
I had a
Yeah,
lot of fun with it, and I think so. Yeah, and
yeah.
if you could get four people playing, it would definitely be worth it. If it was straight up co-op. Yeah, yeah. I want
Okay.
to see it. I want to see a port. Let's see it, Microsoft.
And then the last one, of course, is Halo Infinite,
Yeah,
which
we
we've
kind of
already
are.
talked about. But I mean,
We
yeah,
covered
like yeah,
all
yeah.
about it. My favorite
Uh,
thing about Halo Infinite, man, I think one of the bigger things is, um, me streaming, and having that as like one of the main games I was playing and streaming. There's just a lot of fun, just with the community, being able to
right.
introduce this game, playing with you guys, and the multiplayer matches. Like we could, the multiplayer is great. I really do have a good, have a great time with all that sort of thing.
I would say the
I
campaign's
re-
great too. It just sucks
the
that
tra-
like the first experience was single player. Like I
Yeah,
mean, you
and
know,
I just took the wind out of the sails for a lot of people. I mean, I talked to Tuna the other day. It's like that's one of the biggest things for him, and I know it's just not only him too. It's like
yeah,
it's for all of us who
right.
played co-op, and that we played co-op throughout all the Halos, and then not being able to experience it. It just lessened the campaign for most of us. I really enjoy Halo Infinite campaign. I really do. And I was actually playing with my brother a couple weeks back. We had a really good time, and um, still highly recommend it. I feel like it's very underrated, and that there should have been a lot more to it. Um, Halo multiplayer is great, and we're gonna be playing some tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
And then for your final security question here,
And that's
Farmer.
I guess that's why I was messaging everybody, but I guess I put the wrong photo. My bad. We're playing Halo tomorrow, not crypto. My bad.
um, your final question, Farmer. Does Sprint belong in Halo?
Oh my goodness. I'm out of here. For all intents and purposes, it's in Halo, so I can't really say anything about it because I'm pretty sure it's coming into the remake,
Yeah, it seems that way. It does seem that way.
It seems like it's that way. So
yeah.
whether it belongs or not, it's kind of like we are no longer in 2001.
Okay.
We're in
So
2026. So for games that work in these days and ages, people expect that, and so I feel like to work a working game in this environment for this generation, yes, it has to be there.
Okay, all right, a definitive answer. I wasn't expecting that. I was literally with my pen in hand. I was hovering over the refuse to answer box here on this
I refuse
questionnaire.
to, with
But
all
like,
this
no, you did
information
at
I'm
the very
laying the
end.
groundwork for. Nope, I will not say.
Yeah.
I
Okay. Well.
I don't like. I understand where people are coming from, but like all the games that we play these days have sprint in them, and all the competitive games, that's what they are. So that's what it is. That's what you expect in every game. So that's the new architecture. It's that wasn't the way that multiplayer was designed back there, and maybe that's why there was where you could really dial in, maybe with your team and really have apples to apples as far as like your gameplay, more like chess. But this is just a different style of chess. You just have more of those components. You just have to you have to be better, right? You just have to be
Right.
better at chess. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
true. Get good at chess. A pretty good lesson for everyone, really.
Yeah, chess is
Okay,
great.
and I think that finishes up this. It looks like tabulating the results here. I'm like 82%. Well, wait, actually, I'm sorry, I missed a question. There is one more question here. That only Farmer, the real Farmer, would know, and not a hacker imposer. How many times did you team kill me on our Halo 3 Vidmaster run?
That's a trick question because you started the team killing.
That's not what I asked.
How many times? I want to say probably 20 at least.
Wrong answer, actually. So you therefore must be a hacker. And I gotta say, props to you for your hacking ability. I mean, like hacking someone like Farmer takes a lot of guts.
Yeah,
and
well, we catch him when he's not mainstaying on any of his platforms lately. So get him while he's out doing band practice.
Yeah, smart. And you did a lot of Halo research in preparation for this background check, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
It's just a shame that you weren't able to complete it.
There's a lot of information, in the last 20 plus years of Halo.
Yeah.
A lot of gaps to fill. A lot of things people wouldn't know unless they were in the trenches.
But I think we can effectively conclude that there's maybe a 27% chance that this is actually Farmer, and a 73% chance that it is not. So I mean, just bear that in mind when you receive DMs from him in the future asking for money, or offering gift codes, or anything like that.
Fair, those messages were not offering money; they were just showing how easy it is to make money.
Yeah,
with crypto, look what I'm doing.
That's a good distinction. That's a good distinction to point out for sure. But seriously, be safe on the internet, everybody.
Don't be safe and
don't click on familiar links. If something seems too good to be true,
if it looks a little shady, you got to message the person and
exactly. Yeah,
apologize. I apologize to all the people that got spam. That was not me. Okay, that was.
And the answer to that betrayal question is hundreds of times, for the record. I think you forgot how long we tried to do that, Master. We were there for hours, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't kill you 100 times. I'm pretty sure you killed me.
Hundreds, multiple hundreds.
You know,
but thank you for joining the
it got so laggy.
This
we just
week. And listening to this background check as we verify Farmer's true identity.
Do I have my check mark yet? Am I verified?
As Hacker Farmer, I think is what we've concluded.
Farmer, okay, but hey, at least I have a
he's
check
gonna,
mark.
He's going to be changing his gamer
I'm
tag
verified.
shortly.
I'm verified.
Instead of Produce Farmer.
Hacker Farmer? That's what I am?
Yeah.
Should I just change my username right now?
No. No, probably not. Only a hacker would do that. You know?
Hilarious.
But thank you for joining us for this episode 9 of a Navcast. I remember the name of this thing that we're doing. And also, a Skywalker episode, actually, when it comes down to it. Which we did talk about Luke a little bit. So I guess it counts.
Oh, I just remember we were going to do that background thing. Well, next time. Here's your bit.
Yeah. Bye. Oh, like and subscribe and all that stuff too.
Yeah. You can cut and paste.
No, I'm way too lazy. I'm the one who has edited this. I'm not doing that.
Get out of here, Craig.